Hope everybody's doing well. Obviously, difficult, tough loss the other night. Thought we played hard. Again, some shooting wells hold us back. We had a really good, aggressive practice yesterday. Guys came in with great focus, great energy. Practiced real hard both offensively and defensively. Did a ton of end of game situation stuff. Feel good getting ready to practice again today to get ready for obviously a great Ohio State team. I think they're playing some of the best basketball in the country right now. We had a battle with them at their place, basically one possession game. So again, it's going to be a tough battle, and like anything else, the team that plays the best tomorrow is going to win the game.
Justin, we'll go ahead and begin with you. Mark Brennan, you're on deck.
Jim, I know you said you like what you saw in practice last week, but after a loss like that, does the tone, the intensity, does that pick up, or do you try to keep things as normal as possible?
Well, this time of year, you're not practicing real long. It's about fresh minds and fresh bodies. We had two great practices prior to the Nebraska game. We really did. High level, high intensity. We had a great practice yesterday, too, and that's the resiliency of this group. I'm going to be meeting with the staff shortly here. I put together a practice for today, and then I'm kind of on edge. Like, do we go real hard again, or do we keep it a little shorter? Just because, like I said, we had two really good practices before the Nebraska game, and I didn't think we came out with that same juice that we had been coming out with at home. So I want to make sure that obviously that we're peaking at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, ready to play. But the practices are competitive. We always go hard the day before a game. Now, we don't go very long. I think that's the key, especially this time of year, 45 minutes to an hour. And I expect to have a really good practice today leading into the game tomorrow.
Mark Brennan, let's come to you. Parth Upadhyay will come to you after Mark.
Hey, Jim, thanks for your time today.
Hey, Mark. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Hey, it seems like three-point shooting has been kind of a lack of three-point shooting has been a theme through this stretch here for you. Can you put your finger on what the issues are? Are you getting good shots? Are guys maybe a little tired? Is it a mental thing? Just, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Mark, great question. And obviously I tore up all the numbers, and I'm bad at math. Actually, I'm bad at spelling too. But I spent a lot of time kind of crunching all the numbers, breaking things down, and it has all come out. It's the shot making. And in our past 5 games, we've made 26% from three, and we're only really making, 6 threes a game. Where prior to that, we were shooting closer to 35% from three on the year. So, and it could be a little bit of everything. It could be a little bit of fatigue. Could be a little bit of mental. We are getting great shots. I mean, we broke down some analytic stuff and broke down them all, watched all the shots. I had all of them from the past 5 games. And it's not like we're taking bad shots. And it's not like we're taking ones that aren't open. Actually, I think at certain times we've passed up a couple of good ones that maybe we should have taken. So it's about, shot preparation, and it's about confidence. I'm not going to sit here and show these guys all the missed threes and why didn't you make this? Our guys are in the gym. We're putting in the effort. We're executing. We are getting very good shots. So, hopefully we can get a turn for the best in this game coming out. It's going to be tough, but we still got to shoot them. We'd be doing an injustice if we don't shoot them. The longer we go in the shot clock, the harder it is to score in this league. So we have to take the first threes, the ones that show, the good shots, you got to take it. And that's all I'm telling these guys. Okay, you missed those 2, you're going to make the next one. Take it. So we just got to keep still in confidence. But I thought it was a good question, and we spent a lot of time on it, and it all just kept coming back to that. So getting good shots, got to make them.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Mark. Parth, let's come to you for your question, and then Tandon Luce will come to you next.
Hey, Jim. Hope you're doing well. When you've got a guy like Taylor Battle on your staff, legendary Nittany Lions program's leading scorer, and somebody's a little bit younger, was in these guys' shoes 10 years ago. What is the value of that on your players?
Yeah, I think it's a great value. Great value. We talked about that yesterday. He's been spending a lot of time, especially with the guards like Sam Sessions and Jamari and MJ and those guys. He's lived it. He's worn the jersey. He's accomplished what these guys want to accomplish. He's made big plays. He's made big shots. We're really fortunate to have him. I think it's been such a positive to have someone like him on our staff that can really teach these guys. And he's doing a great job with it, too. So he's doing a really good job.
Tanya, let's come to you. Corey Geiger, you'll be on deck.
Hi, Coach. When you look at the Big Ten statistics, I mean, Ohio State really isn't at the top of any of the categories aside from free throws, but they are in like the top 5 of nearly every category. Is it harder to prepare for a team that's so well-rounded rather than a team that has a few like prominent strengths?
Yeah, I think they're one of the best teams in the country, if not the best team in the country. I really do. I think this is a Final Four caliber team. I think they have weapons all over the court. I think their pieces really fit well together. They play well off each other. They're very good defensively. They make you work for everything. I think Chris has done a fantastic job with this group. And it is challenging. It's challenging to prepare for, any of the teams in our conference, really. But obviously, you talk about one of the best teams in the country. And they're playing really well right now. I mean, they're playing the best basketball they've played all year. So, very difficult matchup. But they're a very difficult matchup for a lot of teams.
Corey, let's come over to you, and then Nate Bauer, you're on deck.
Jim, real quick first, is there any word on the Michigan postponed game? And then secondly, one thing I wanted to ask you was, it's been since '99 with Michigan State that a Big Ten team won the national title. The phrase cannibalize itself is kind of thrown out there all the time with these leagues. Does the Big Ten cannibalize itself and make it more difficult to win a national title?
To answer the first question with Michigan, haven't really heard anything updated on that yet. Obviously, they just replaced the Nebraska game. We're going to play at Nebraska Tuesday after we play at Iowa on Sunday. I thought Dana O'Neill wrote a great article today in The Athletic, if you haven't read it, or maybe you had. I thought she had some really good points in there about the league. I do feel like we cannibalize ourselves a little bit, especially this year. I mean, this league is so deep. The games are so physical. There are great coaches in this league. And maybe it is a little fatigue when we get to the NCAA tournament. We're going to see. I really, truly believe this year one of our teams is going to win it. I really do. The way we were playing, the experience that we're getting through this year, I think is going to help, one of our teams that get into the NCAA tournament make a deep run to the Final Four. I really do. But, toughest league in the country, there's no night off. I mean, you look at some of these other leagues and some of the teams that you might say that are on the bottom, it's kind of a W. That's not the case in our league. It's really not. And there's such good players and there's such good coaching. It's really challenging.
Nate, let's come over to you, and then Justin Morgenstein, you'll be back on deck.
Jim, you've had so many of these last-minute shots, right? End-of-game situations. How do you settle on who has the ball in their hands for that shot at the end of the game? And I guess as an addendum to that, does anybody lobby you for that role?
You know what? It's really been who's playing well during that game. And it's been one of the challenges. Like I said, in the past, we've had Lamar Stevens for the past 2 years. Tony Carr before that. You had guys you knew were going to get the ball to. We've been a little inconsistent, so we're kind of going to the hot hand, who's playing well at the time. I have my game sheet that I make up every single game, and I have plays for each guy that we're going to go to, whoever's playing well, what we're going to go to get them a shot. Our guys are all confident. We went over to the staff too, and it's kind of been spread out. Pretty much in our core group, everybody has gotten a shot this year. Everybody has gotten that shot at the end, and unfortunately, we haven't made a ton of them. But we do. We talk to the kids about it. We do situations every day, so we mix it up multiple times a day and try to get each guy a different shot and just see, what we feel comfortable with and going to. But ultimately, it's about who's really playing well. What's the mismatch on the court? What has worked throughout the game? What is the other team struggling to defend? So those are the things that we evaluate as we go through the game.
Thanks, Coach. Justin Morgenstein, let's come to you. Ben Jones, you'll be on deck.
Jim, taking a look at John long-term over the past few years you've been here, how's his game been able to develop from, strictly being that glue guy to not only now being a contributor defensively and setting screens, but chipping in on offense regularly now as well.
Yeah, he's just gotten better every single year, and he's gotten better every year. He's gotten better within the year, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And as a freshman, he got better, and he just keeps getting better, and he just keeps evolving into what we need him to be. We facilitate offense through John a lot. That's some of our best offense when we go 5 out and the ball's in John's hands. We put some stuff in actually to get him the ball in the post a little bit more now because he's finishing at a high rate. He's been our glue defensively. He's rebounding the ball at such a high level. So, I mean, this is a guy that just, you're just so proud of a guy like this that just keeps getting better and better and better and better. And again, I'm so happy for John, and he makes us a good team. He gives us, another weapon on the floor now. And like I said, the anchor defensively.
John, over the last 10 games since the restart, is averaging a double-double. That's not easy to do, and certainly not easy to do, especially when you play those first 4 in 7 days. Ben, let's come to you for your question, and then Parth, you're on deck.
Jim, I was trying to find, your first upset as a head coach, and I came across beating St. Louis at Duquesne seemed to be one of the ones that came to mind. What do you remember about that, and what do you think the ingredients are for an upset like that? Obviously, the parity tomorrow is maybe a little closer than that game might have been, but what do you think goes into a game like that?
Yeah, if I recall, so St. Louis, I think, was like 9th in the country at that time, and we had to go to St. Louis, and they had won like 19 games in a row or something like that. They were a really, really good team. They were fantastic. Jim Cruz, coach, excellent coach. They had a lot of weapons on the floor. But we had matched up well, and we actually lost a close game at home to St. Louis early in the year. So I think we followed the game plan. We did what we were supposed to do defensively. We got the game played at our pace. I think, again, that was a couple years back, so I don't really have the whole game plan set. But we played very well. I think we outplayed them, but I thought we had a chance to beat them at our place as well. Similar. Hey, we played very well at Ohio State with a chance to win that game. We've had some big upsets here in the 4 years that I've been here. We've had some really good wins, and it comes down to playing well. And for us, guys, again, it's about making shots now. We've flipped it. Defensively, we've become a better defensive team, and we're getting the same shots. They just haven't been going in. And I think if these shots are going in, we're looking at a whole different record right now and a whole different situation. But they haven't. So that's we are who we are right now. And to me, it's all about building confidence in these guys, because when we play with confidence and we play well, we can play with anybody in the country.
Parth, let's come to you for your question. Evan Patrick, you're on deck, and Nate Bauer will have you finish up today's session.
Jim, you kind of touched on this in your response to my last question, but what has Taylor shown you? I'm not sure what his ultimate goal is, whether that's to be a head coach at a Division I program or an associate head coach, whatever it may be, but what has he shown you this year with his coaching ability that proves to you that he can climb those ranks and be a head coach at some place one day?
Sure. So, Taylor, he does want to be a head coach. I've talked to him multiple times about it. What he's great at? He's just a great people person, which is a hugely important skill to have in this profession. The kids are attracted to him. He listens. He wants to learn. But when you ask him a question, like he has really good answers. He's got great work ethic. He can still play the game. I think he's got just a multitude of skills that are going to help him in this business. Obviously, the year we had with the pandemic, it's been very unfortunate in his being able to really grow quickly. But he will. I think he's going to have an opportunity to be a head coach. I think he's really good at this stuff. He's going to be an outstanding recruiter. But like I said, going back to the first thing is just his people skills and the ability to work with people. It's just outstanding.
Thanks for that, Coach Evan. Patrick, let's come over to you, and then Nate Bauer, you'll wrap everything up with your question.
Hey, Jim, how much have you and the guys stayed in touch with Lamar through the course of this season, and how cool has it been for you guys to see him go from going undrafted to now carving out his role with the Cavs?
Yeah, it's awesome. So proud of him. It's tough now, man. He's an NBA guy, so he's all over the place. To travel in that league is insane. But we watch it a lot. We share a lot of highlights with each other. I actually texted with Lamar, I want to say it was 2 days ago, just about how proud I am, and I just wanted to catch up with him just to see how his experience is going. So he texts us back, yeah, we got to get together and we'll talk about it. And then he's following us too. It's really great. He's forever tweeting these guys, talking with these guys. He's proud of these guys' efforts. So it's exciting for all of us. I know it's really exciting for my children. They love seeing him play. And he had a monster dunk the other day. I think it was on a Knicks or something. So he's really carving out a great role for himself, and it doesn't surprise me. And I've said that to all my NBA contacts when they were calling me about Lamar, his strengths and his weaknesses. And I think Lamar has the opportunity to have a at least 10-year career because he's such a good person. He's such a competitor, and he really does things the right way. So we're all really, really proud of him.
Nate Bauer, let's come over to you, and then we'll wrap up today's session.
Jim, you guys have obviously been able to turn teams over all year. What have the differentiating factors been between the games where you turn teams over and score off of it, you generate the points off turnovers, versus games where you haven't been able to do that?
Nate, great question, man. And that has shown up. Like, you have 16 turnovers and you're only getting like 10 points. That's a little concerning. And we've had games like that. Some of that is missed layups. Some of that's blocked shots at the end. Like we call it our Celtic opportunities or outnumbered situations. We're early in the year. I think we've been flying around, doing a great job with that. And, we have to continue to do a good job of that. But that has shown up in some of the games where we are turning over, and yet we're not getting those baskets. Or same thing with offensive rebounding. You could throw that category in there as well, where, we might get, 13 offensive rebounds, but if you're only getting 10 second chance points, that's about finishing. And again, what is finishing? It's shot making. And that's why on all the analytics that we have broken down, it's come down into just making the shots. And to make the shots, you got to play with great confidence.